heck is skin brightening? Well, hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about this concept of skin brightening. When products are marketed as skin brightening, they are meant to improve skin clarity, luminosity, give you that like radiant glow. Skin brightening is not skin lightening. When we think about skin lightening, that's usually ingredients aimed at reducing pigmentation, something that might be helpful for tackling post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, dark spots. Those are skin lightening ingredients. The goal there, of course, is not to bleach the skin, but rather to correct abnormal pigmentation. But with skin brightening, it has nothing to do with pigmentation. It has nothing to do with actually changing your skin color. It just has to do with improving the overall radiance, luminosity, glow, and clarity of your skin. Think of skin brightening as the opposite of skin dullness. It doesn't really mean that your skin is boring, but rather dull and appearing not as glowy. And this can come about as a result of several factors. Cumulative sun damage and sun exposure, whether that be acute, subacute, or chronic. After being outdoors all day, your skin may appear a little dull. Subacute, you can think of after the summer where you've spent a lot of time outside, your skin just doesn't have that radiant glow anymore. And one of the hallmarks of chronic sun damage is dull appearing skin because it really weakens the skin's ability to turn over at an efficient rate. And of course, sun damages proteins in the deeper layers of the skin that contribute to elasticity, snap, and give the skin that bouncy, youthful glow. It's not just sun though. With age, our skin's natural turnover processes slow down a bit, and that can leave the skin looking dull. A lot of skincare brands will market to more mature skin that they need to be exfoliating, but keep watching because I'm going to give you some tips in this video that may save your skin from over exfoliating, which actually can likewise make it dull. Anything that generates inflammation in the skin on an ongoing basis, exposures to other environmental stressors besides sun, like pollution, infrared radiation, excessive stress in our lives, can definitely leave the skin dull, especially as it encroaches into quality sleep. When we sleep, that's really a time when our body as a whole is trying to repair damage from throughout the day, including damage in our skin. It's trying to recover from oxidative stress. If you deprive your body of adequate restorative sleep, it does not have proper time to heal, recover, because as you sleep, there's a lot more water loss going on. And if you don't give your skin adequate time to recover through proper sleep, that increased water loss can leave your skin quite dull. All sorts of stress hormones go off when we are sleep deprived and under a lot of stress, and this leaves our skin quite weak. Then our diet can leave the skin looking dull and not so bright. If you have a diet that is not balanced, it really can impact your skin. I've talked about this in my video on foods that are aging you. Diets high in refined, sugary carbohydrates lead to what is called advanced glycation, and products, basically sugars glom onto the collagen in your skin, weaken it, and that leaves the skin dull and also contributes to skin yellowing. Whether it be lifestyle practices or an over-the-top skincare routine that has left your skin on the fritz, these things can lead to a weakened skin barrier. Now, I have lots of videos on here about the skin barrier, best ingredients for the skin barrier, how to repair the skin barrier, so check those out. But we all kind of have a sense of when we have maybe gone a little bit too far with too many new exotic ingredients, and the skin can be left dry, dull appearing due to increases in water loss, as well as sensitive. The most simple thing that you can do to get yourself on a path to brighter skin, to get away from dullness, it's boring, but it works. And that is just stay consistent with a very basic skincare routine. Mild cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen. The act of cleansing removes dirt, oil, and sebum off the skin surface. And what that does for you in the realm of improving skin brightness is it removes things that otherwise are going to break down and create a lot of inflammation for the skin to handle. That is going to leave the skin dull. Cleansing is also important because it also hydrates. As you are cleansing, you are exfoliating. People don't realize this. Again, they think they have to use some separate exfoliant, but a lot of times you are getting the job done simply by consistently cleansing. Your skin naturally turns over, it naturally exfoliates, and as you rub cleanser over your face once or twice a day, depending on your preference, well, that helps dislodge corneocytes that are stuck there and leaving your skin looking dull. And doing that on a consistent basis really can just keep the skin smooth, supple, hydrated. To a certain extent, cleansing also helps hydrate the stratum corneum, the top layers of the skin. Speaking of hydration, moisturizers are really, really helpful. You know, I pointed this out about in videos before, but there certainly are unicorns out there who go through life never needing a moisturizer with no problems. I don't know how these people do it, but they do. They are unicorns. But for the majority of us, at some point in our lives, we will benefit tremendously from incorporating a moisturizer into our skincare routine. And in the case of getting brighter skin, moisturizers are really just underrated, undersold in this department because they do so many things to help support the skin's overall health. They soften and smooth the skin. And what that does is, again, allow for a more efficient skin barrier turnover and smooth the skin surface. They also help improve the moisture content of the skin. And that is what ultimately is going to allow the skin biology to go according to plan. With age and with certain underlying skin conditions, the natural turnover, the differentiation and maturation process of the epidermis, it gets slow, it gets behind, and having moisturizers really can come in there and help improve the water content and allow things to go along at a more efficient pace. Ultimately, the end result is going to be smoother, hydrated, brighter skin. A lot of what underscores skin brightening is not changing your skin, but bringing it out. And it brings it out by improving light scattering. That's a whole, that is the root of skin brightening, of glowy skin. Hydration to help scatter light. Moisturizers also help protect the skin from things that can create inflammation. Moisturizers help act almost as second skin, because that's your skin's job, to act as a barrier, but sometimes it's challenged with other things and some sneaky stuff gets in. Pollutants, things of that sort. Moisturizing can help act as a skin protectant, as well as a skin lubricant to reduce frictional forces that are just irritating and can definitely leave our skin dull appearing. You know me, I have to bring up sunscreen. It's like the most important part of your skincare routine, and it definitely has a huge role in brighter skin for a few reasons. First of all, the majority of sunscreens are in a moisturizing base, either be a lotion, a cream, a gel. So you're getting those benefits of reducing water loss, of improving moisture content, of smoothing, softening, lubricating, all those things that you get from your moisturizer. But sunscreens also are going to protect from the damaging effects of ultraviolet radiation, which are going to weaken barrier function, as well as destroy things in the deeper layers of the skin that lead to sagging and sallowness, loss of suppleness, loss of elasticity. What ingredients can help support skin brightening? In no particular order, some of my favorites. This is not, a evidence-based review by any means, although the ingredients I'm pointing out here do have research to support them. This list is not like, if you do these things, you will get radiant skin and anything else is superfluous. But they're really just things that do consistently seem to pay off dividends. Let's talk about anti-inflammatory, antioxidant ingredients that may be something you're already using. They can be in your moisturizer, they can be in your sunscreen, they can be in your cleanser. Yes, your cleanser can deposit these ingredients on the surface of the skin via coacervation. One of my favorite ingredient families comes from licorice root. Oftentimes you'll see dipotassium glycerizate. These compounds are anti-inflammatory, and that's really going to help combat things that weather your skin, the environmental stressors that are so taxing on our skin. It also is very helpful for reducing irritation and for calming down redness. Things that calm and soothe the skin can really help bring out that glow. Licorice root is also beneficial if you have an underlying skin condition where you have barrier impairment and a lot of inflammation, like atopic dermatitis. Maybe you have seborrheic dermatitis as well. That too can lead to these red inflamed patches on the face, or maybe you have rosacea. Now, while licorice is not a treatment for any of these conditions, it certainly can help in combating the redness that makes skin appear dull when people are coping with flares of these conditions. I have to give a shout out to one of my favorite ingredients, although I know a lot of you guys don't get along with it. It is niacinamide. This ingredient, in my opinion, is just so versatile. It has so many benefits to the skin. Even though brightening has nothing to do with pigmentation, a benefit of niacinamide is that it does actually help put the brakes on hyperpigmentation. It really does help support the health of the moisture barrier, and it's anti-inflammatory. So it's going to help your skin handle all those environmental stressors better. And niacinamide also helps calm down redness as well. Niacinamide helps reduce the burden of stress upon exposure to things like pollution and infrared radiation that weather our skin. Another thing that bothers people when it comes to the appearance of dull skin is prominent pores. And a lot of why pores appear prominent are either related to your underlying genetics and the size of your sebaceous oil gland, as well as hormones, including those stress hormones. And niacinamide, maybe through its anti-inflammatory effects, not only helps with hydrating the skin around the pore, making it appear smaller, but it may also help reduce the damage the deeper layers of the skin that ultimately could lead to dilation of the pore opening and more prominent pores. Niacinamide has a track record, as a side note, of being helpful for oiliness, enlarged pores, and acne. It's not an acne treatment, but it definitely seems to help people get good control when used with acne treatments. It's got a supporting role. Okay, a lot of what has to do with dull skin is really just buildup of corneocytes. And a lot of marketing will have people who have mature skin believe that they need to be exfoliating at X frequency a week. And we'll talk about exfoliating. It's not off the table and it's not completely useless, but it may not be 100% necessary for you. If you've made it up to this point and you're doing these things, you may find at that point you're done. You know, you're cleansing, you're moisturizing, you're using your sunscreen, and you're doing it consistently. Maybe you have some of these ingredients in those products, you're done. Like what is the rationale for moving forward at that point? Do you need an exfoliant? No. But let's talk about if you're still having dull appearing skin, it's still not quite as smooth, as hydrated. Something that I think is super underrated, but it's a dermatologist's favorite ingredient, it's urea. Urea not only helps hydrate the skin, it's hydrating. It helps improve the water content of the skin. It's a small compound, and it's actually naturally present in your skin as part of your skin's natural moisturizing factors. Applying it to the skin helps with hydration, but it also, depending on the formulation of the product, can help dissolve and gently exfoliate, soften and exfoliate rough skin. For me personally, I find urea to really yield results for me. I think it's the combination of the hydration and the keratolytic effects of urea. There's urea, and then there are alpha hydroxy acids. They both are things that do kind of the same thing for your skin. Do you need both? No. Having both may be okay, depending on the formulation in your skin. But let's talk about alpha hydroxy acids. They are a family of acids that sometimes are formulated together, sometimes they're formulated with other things. They include glycolic, lactic, mandelic, and some others, but those are the most common. Glycolic, recently I did a video about glycolic versus salicylic acid, so check that one out. But glycolic is the smallest of these three. It can penetrate through the epidermis a little bit more deeply. Depending on how the product is formulated, it can actually exfoliate the epidermis and help with epidermal remodeling, and ultimately that can not only smooth out the top most differentiated layer of the skin, the stratum corneum, but it can really start to help with remodeling the epidermis and smoothing things out. Now, it wouldn't be a rational video without mention of everyone's favorite friend, the vitamin A derivatives, because they have a track record of getting results for a variety of issues, and skin brightening is no exception. Retinol can be a cosmetic ingredient, namely retinol, or its other cosmetic friend, retinaldehyde. Now, I have videos explaining retinol versus retinaldehyde, so check those out, but basically they just differ in the number of conversion steps your skin has to do in order to get the ingredient to its active form. Then you have prescription retinoids like tretinoin, tazarotene. You have adapalene, which is prescription depending on where you live, or you can buy it here in the US over the counter. It's an acne treatment. Anyway, these topical retinols, we'll say, forms of vitamin A that are applied to the skin, they definitely can help improve the differentiation of the epidermis. I mean, that's how they work. They get into skin cells, they bind to receptors, and they help train the cells to behave more appropriately. But with long-term consistent use, they also can help in improving moisture content in the skin. In the deeper layers, they improve collagen, they improve glycosamine and glycan content, which ultimately improves the water binding capacity there and really does improve moisture content. So retinol is definitely one that can be pursued to have brighter, smoother skin. It's going to smooth out the top layers of the skin, the epidermis, and it's going to help with a better turnover of the skin. Those are ingredients. Keep it simple. But probably the most important thing, the final thing, it's got to be your lifestyle. I mean, it really, the skincare products, they have a supporting role. They can get some results, but you really have to focus on the lifestyle factors. Are you stressing yourself to the max? Are you in a job where you are not getting sleep, either because you're having to work all sorts of crazy hours and your sleep is disrupted, you're stressed out, you can't sleep, maybe you have young children, you have to be up with them all night. Like, this is something that really can take a toll, not just on your skin for aesthetic reasons, but really your whole body. I mean, skin is just kind of a window telling you, hello, you need to dial it back, get some sleep. Sleep really does support a whole lot of things. I mean, once the sleep is under good control, you really can start to build on other lifestyle habits much more easily. Like, I would argue, and this may be an unpopular opinion, I'm a huge fan of exercise, and that's a big part of the lifestyle things. Getting exercise helps manage stress. It has anti-inflammatory effects. I mean, it really does make your skin look better, to be honest. Just improves circulation, all of those things. But I am of the belief, and there's evidence to support this, that if you are sleep deprived, the benefits of exercise, they start to dwindle, because you're not able to recover from your workout. You're not able to put a good effort into your workout when you are sleep deprived. It increases the risk of injury. And so I would say, I mean, if I were making a priority list, I would put sleep above exercise. And like I said, I'm big on exercise. Exercise does not need to be rigorous to be effective. Walking, movement, try and get it in. The downfall of society and what will leave all of our skin dull as well as us just unhealthy is our sedentary lifestyle. People like to focus on, follow this diet, do this diet, eliminate these foods, da-da-da-da-da. But I really do think a big umbrella issue is sleep and movement. Easier said than done, but those are things that you really have to focus on. All right, guys, so that's what I wanted to chat with you all about in today's video, how to get brighter skin. I think it's kind of a confusing marketing term. I hope this video was helpful. Now, on the end slate, I'm going to put my recent video all about glycolic acid versus salicylic acid. You're definitely gonna wanna check that video out, especially if you are wondering which ingredient is best for your particular skin concern. But if you like this one, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.